Hello and welcome to the Alexandra Wenman show. I'm here in Los Angeles with the wonderful Camilla Sacre-Dallerup, and we're going to be talking today about Camilla's amazing new book, Reinvent Me. So Camilla, tell me what led you to write this amazing book?
Well, it was quite a journey actually getting, to this point of deciding to write books. I always had a dream from when I was like a teenager. I was always into sort of mind over matter and spiritual journeys and energy work, but I really needed to go off and live life and learn my sort of life lessons, learn about myself, turn myself inside out and really be challenged a lot. Hit it, in my 30s I headed straight for a burnout and all those sort of things, heartache, whatever it was. All of those things were just great teachers that led me to suddenly thinking I actually want to help other people, and therefore became a life coach and a hypnotherapist and later on a meditation teacher. And that is what led me to writing a book about reinvention eventually.
It's wonderful. There's so many people on the planet going through it at the moment, I think. So many people in the corporate world deciding that they're not feeling fulfilled and then going out and exploring other options. But for you, obviously you were in the public eye, you're in showbiz. How did you find that, going from being someone you were known for your dancing, you were known for your TV persona? How did you find making the shift? Because you've also changed countries in the midst of it all.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, because seemingly when I was doing Strictly Come Dancing, I had a dream job. I mean, it was a fantastic job. I loved dancing on Strictly Come Dancing, and I'll never swap that for anything in the world. Like, the memories are in here in my heart, and I loved it. However, through the years, I just sort of found myself quite empty. I think I'd maybe also been giving so much creatively to my dancing, and I'd been competing, and it'd been a long journey through my 20s and into my 30s. And one day I just sort of thought, I have nothing more to give here. Like, I literally feel like I need to go off and live life differently.
It must have been physically exhausting too.
Absolutely.
Essentially, you're an athlete, right? Yeah.
I think I was, like I said, I headed straight for a burnout. I was depleted, I was empty, and in a way that was what I needed to feel to then go, hang on a minute, this is not fulfilling me on the outside, so I'm going to go on an inwards journey here and find, how do I find peace within? How do I find that contentment within? Because I knew that when I would come home within, I would probably be doing something different.
And what techniques did you learn along the way? Did you go and study different modalities and things like that?
Yes, I was very lucky when I would say that sports and being a professional dancer later on, really anything that I learned through dancing has served me very well in life. I was very lucky at 13 years old. I had a wonderful coach who came from the cycling world. So he was more into teaching me about the mind rather than the dancing, and he was really a huge inspiration to me. He taught me to visualize from the age of 13, and there's a whole chapter in there on visualization. Yeah. So my accent is really weird today because I've had my parents with me for 2 weeks. And I actually feel like I have like a Danish twang and I can't speak properly.
Beautiful. It's quite lilting.
So I'm so sorry. It's all over the show.
Hey, we're like multi-dimensional here, citizens of the world, not just one place.
It's like want to speak Danish. It's weird. And then I was introduced to a sports psychologist at 16 through dance. And that was fascinating because he also taught me how really the importance of being prepared mentally. And I think all of those sort of subconsciously pushed me along this sort of spiritual journey. And in my 20s, my dance partner and I were kind of slightly obsessed with the whole comparing and competing. And it wasn't helping us. And we then found an energy coach who taught me the words, energy follows thought. And she told me to put them on my wall, and they changed my life. Because anytime I was thinking about comparing myself to somebody else or competing, that feeling, it just didn't feel good. I was like, stop wasting your energy on that and just bring it back to yourself. Where could you use this energy to improve yourself? How can you be the best version of yourself on the dance floor, in my training? And we realized that as soon as we did that, we had so much time to spend on us. When we stopped caring about the whole comparing and why are they doing this, it's just you know, amazing words. Energy follows thought. It was amazing.
Did you find that your dancing actually changed with that as well? Did you find it more fluid and easier?
Gosh. Yeah.
It's sort of going with the flow, isn't it?
And it became about the two of us, and it became about how we could use the energy between the two of us. And so we became a tighter team from it. So energy really flowed into my life in that way, and really catapulted us to the next level as professionals. And we became really successful. And we had not had an easy journey up to that moment, by the way. We really sort of struggled, and really in my first book there's a if anybody out there is trying to make it and going, am I ever gonna make it, you might want to read this poem. It's called Don't Quit.
Oh, you're a poet too.
Oh, did you like that? Because I know you got a new book out.
In there.
That just came out naturally. Tell me about your book.
You're not interviewing me.
I want to get a copy.
Oh, you're getting a copy.
Okay. But there's a poem in there that's called Don't Quit, and it actually saw me through the hardest times where I just thought, I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't have the strength to carry on with this journey anymore. I'm just never gonna get there. And then I would read that poem, and it would give me like a little bit more energy. And so I put that in the first book because I just had to share it. So if you're out there, Google it or see it in my Don't Quit poem. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best words of advice.
I'll get her book. Great poems in the book.
Well, I think it kind of resonates, right? We've both been through these reinventions. I loved this when I saw that Camilla had brought this book out, because we have there's a little bit of a weird synchronicity going on here.
Right.
She was a celebrity and I was a celebrity showbiz reporter back in the day. We never actually met, I don't think.
We must have been at the same
We
party.
must have been at the same parties, though, quite a lot of the
There
time.
were a lot of those in London,
know.
yeah.
And here we are, both light workers all of a sudden,
No.
and poets, and tapping into our divine feminine energy and helping people. But I think I was talking to someone about this the other day. A lot of people, before they do have a shift like this, they go through a challenge or something that sort of wakes them up and shakes them up. And then you've talked about, you know, that being a bit of a process. You know, we never go through just one shift. We're always shifting and changing and moving. But what was the obviously some of your challenges have been played out in the media, which we don't have to talk about.
Yeah.
But what was the final thing that made you make the change, that made you make that shift?
You know, it's interesting you asked that, because that's the question I asked the other people who I interviewed for the book. There's different stories of people who've gone through reinvention, and it was the same thing. It was a feeling within that I could no longer deny, that was just empty, and I was just yuck, like it felt inside, just lost. And I thought, I seemingly have everything. How can I feel this way? I even felt guilty feeling that way. Like, I don't know if you did that.
You feel like you're not,
right? Like you're not grateful.
Like you're not grateful.
But I was grateful. But I really was like, how can I not? I actually thought, Camilla, just be grateful for what you have. Carry on, because it would have been so much easier to carry on than going on this new journey and starting all over from scratch. However, the happiness that came with that, the contentment, the truly just being at home within, I no money in the world, no job in the world could have handed me that, you know. And I know the book is called Reinvent Me, and that's because you're already all right, but it's like a little inside. I kind of just reinvented what I already knew. It was like I'd known this from I was 16. I knew I wanted to work with people, but I needed to go on that journey. And that's really so important for me to share this. Nothing you've ever done before this moment is going to be wasted, by the way. Even if it's been an unhappy time or whatever, there will be times in your life later on that you will pull on those strengths, and you'll go, thank goodness I went through that, or that challenge came my way, because now I can serve and share and understand and have compassion in a different way.
Because you sound like me. I always say to
We're
people,
like the same person.
it's always valid. They're all
Right?
stepping stones on your journey, bringing you to where you need to be. I mean, I
Right.
still draw on my journalism, and I still draw on, you know, even working in a fish and chip shop from when I was younger,
Same.
how to deal with people. It's so
Right.
valid. It's so true.
Because I feel that sometimes people will think, oh, that was a mistake to do that. You know, I wasted 5. No. That it's all kind of divine timing.
Amazing.
Right?
And so when did you first move to Los Angeles? Because now obviously you're doing the angel things in the city of angels.
I'm obsessed with
what led
angels.
you here first? Because you must have come here before you moved here.
Never.
Never. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this is weird. I traveled through 36 countries with my dancing. I feel very blessed that I got to see so much of the world dancing, you know, competing, lecturing. However, I only ever flew through LA and changed planes to go to New Zealand, but I never ever went to visit. Never. But I had this deep-seated dream that one day I would sit here in the sun and write my first book. And I just said to my husband one day, I was like, honestly, do you want to go on an adventure with me? Like, it's crazy. We're going to start over. We're not going to know anybody. And he's like, let's go.
Good husband.
Right, let's go.
Excellent.
We already had everything in storage. So we'd been touring with a theatre place, so we decided to keep everything in storage and just rent our house out and apply for the visas. And by no means was this easy, by the way. Like, it meant moving out of our house, renting it out, moving back into parents-in-law to save money, because that was the best advice I got given. Save money before you go. We saved for a year and we did it. So I don't want people to look at me and think, oh, she just like moved to LA, because it was really not like that. It was tough. Yeah. But I think what was very interesting for me was that when I told a friend that we were going, she went, oh gosh, I would love to do that, but I possibly could never do that. And I said, why? And she went, well, I just couldn't. Like, look, I have a house, da, da, da. And what I just want to say is, you can, but it means creative thinking. It means, as my situation was in that moment, I couldn't go. Like, I had to sacrifice having a nice house whilst I was trying to save. I had to move back into parents-in-law, like in my, you know, late 30s. That's not so fun. Like, it's weird, you know. But you do whatever you need to do if you really want that dream or that goal enough.
Yeah, totally. And say yes to the universe as well, I find.
Just
like,
listening.
sometimes if it's meant to be aligned, you'll just go, okay, yes, universe, and then it goes click.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I mean, I'd kind of done a sort of a handshake with a friend who had also coached, and we had shook on the fact that he would go ahead and settle down here, and when he was settled, he would ring us and say, I'm ready, like, you guys move now. And that happened, I think, like within a year or two after he left London. So when he called us, we shook on it. So that was it. We had to do it.
That was the deal.
You know what I mean? How you got to sort of have friends around you who believes in your dreams too, who keeps you accountable.
Definitely.
Right?
That will hold that one in there.
Yeah.
So Camilla just met my best friend Lorraine, who we also run Awake Ones with, and yeah, she holds me accountable for a lot of things. So
it's important. Honestly, if you've got friends around you who are like, oh, I don't think you can do that, might be time to ditch them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you want people that go, I love that.
Encourage
I'll
you.
hold your dream for you.
Yeah. You need your posse of cheerleaders in your reinvention.
For sure.
I find.
For
yeah,
sure.
definitely. People that will support your dreams.
For sure.
Incredible. So tell us about your work here, because obviously you teach meditation and various other things, and you have clients here now. You've got a thriving practice. So what sorts of things do you offer in your spiritual business?
So it's life coaching and hypnosis. Hypnosis I'm just obsessed with. And meditation and mindfulness. And I think basically one of my favorite facts in the world right now is the fact that the subconscious mind runs our lives 95% of the time. That's a lot. The easiest way to access that subconscious mind is via affirmations, meditation, and hypnosis. So if you are saying bad things about yourself, like, oh, I'm such an idiot, I can't do that, or I feel guilty about this, or shame about it, if you're putting yourself down over and over again, by the way, your subconscious mind is listening. That is why affirmations are really powerful. So I mentioned affirmations in the book, and there's some self-hypnosis online that you can access for free. Yeah, there's a link. You can just do it with, you can log on and do that one with me. Meditations, and it's really an 8-step program to reinvention. It goes like, it kind of nudges you along to make the changes.
It's great, and it looks quite simple to follow as well. Like, it's only a dinky little book, but it looks so packed. I can't wait to have a read of
And
this.
the audio came out yesterday.
Oh, you're kidding. Like, I mean, the timing of it is incredible. How
just in
brilliant.
case you're like, I don't have time to read, you can just listen.
Audio book. I'm a bit like that. I'm always on the hop.
It's
I'm
nice,
writing
isn't it?
my book in the notes on my phone, just like.
Well, honestly, I wrote my first book mainly on my iPad, and then my husband bought me a computer because he was like, that's ridiculous, Camilla. So it doesn't matter how you do it, just do it.
Just do it. So are you planning an audio CD of hypnosis as well, or any guided
Funny you say that.
processes?
I know that you're quite in tune. So this one has just nudged me. I think that I've been nudged twice already this week. I think that was the third nudge.
Yeah,
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I can see like almost a whole series of them as well, and there'll be obviously more books as well.
Yeah, how funny you say that.
And when's the TV show happening?
Well, I have been shooting a little pilot.
Sorry, I'm like letting all the cats out of the
She's
bag.
like the sidekick here. We need a session after this.
It's amazing. I just can't get over the synchronicity of it. Like, and I just want to say, like, everything comes in perfect timing because I literally leave LA tomorrow, and we've managed to converge at this point in time.
Right.
So many similarities in the sorts of things.
It wasn't meant to happen a year ago, you
No,
know. When we were
I know.
introduced by a lovely lady, by the way.
Yeah,
Lovely
very,
soul,
very
Caroline
lovely
Lambert.
soul.
So I knew this was just meant to be today.
Yeah. It's sometimes when it's all lined up, it just drops in differently.
But if I can share one little nugget from the book, is that, because I know this was something that was hard for me. Oh, it's just a little thank you from here. Yeah. When you're an expert, and I don't know if you felt the same, when you've been an expert in an area and you're doing a job that you are really good at, which I'm sure many of you find this true too, then the ego can get in the way when we switch careers, or even when we go into new relationships. Our egos can be really proud and like get in the way. And what I'm trying to encourage in the book is to just let that ego go. So how I did it when I moved to America, because that was a big thing for me. I really wanted to just be Camilla here. I didn't want to be Camilla the dancer from Strictly Come Dancing. I just wanted people to meet me for the human that I am. And so for a year I tested myself. I was not allowed to talk about my past.
Oh my God, good girl. That's a very brave thing to do.
It was quite funny.
Because it doesn't define you.
No, but it did for a long time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, being a dancer, I had become Camilla the dancer. I almost introduced myself like that. I was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you can just swallow that ego, go, I'm a sponge, like I'm just gonna be new at this, and just be okay with asking people for help, people will help you. If you try and do I know how to do this, I know I used to do whatever, people don't care. But if you truly are okay with being a novice and you are like okay to start at the bottom again, you'll be okay. You will be okay.
You will. It will always support you. One of the things I'm finding as well, this is what happened to me, and I'm finding that it's happening with a lot of people. If you have a calling to reinvent yourself, or a calling to do something that you're not doing, and you're staying stuck out of fear, or because you don't think you're qualified, or because you don't think you're ready, just be aware that your higher self or the universe might give you a kick up the bum and force you to let go of that safety net. And this is something that happens
That's in
to
the
me.
book. It's in the book. Like just what she said. Just listen to this.
There's
woman.
so much resonating here
it's
today.
insane. You're right.
Yeah, because after Now magazine, because I worked for Now as a celebrity party showbiz thing and everything, and then I went off to Prediction magazine and was the editor of that magazine for a long time. And I thought that's where my spiritual career was taking me. I actually had plans to create a spiritual TV show through the mag and everything, and then the mag collapsed. But it was the universe going, sorry, you've held on to this life raft for far too long. You've got better things to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't meant to work for somebody else.
No.
So,
and that's the thing, I say this in the book, exactly what you said. Sometimes that comes in the shape of a breakup.
yeah.
A massive breakup, or getting fired, or losing money, or whatever it is. But it's like, it needs to be, I always say, I see clients when they're up against the wall with nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Because they often call me like 2 months before, but they're not quite ready.
They're not moving.
And that's okay. You know what? You can I chose to walk away, but it took me 3 years. I denied the feeling inside, the not feeling so happy, the kind of stuck, uncomfortable feeling for 3 years. And I'm honest about that. But I did walk away because I knew it was not right for me. And that was tough. I had no idea what I walked off to, by the way. I had no idea. I spent a whole year just being lost, which is why I'm passionate about sharing the tools to help me in the book.
And so you've just been on a big tour as well around the world with this book, haven't you?
I mean England and here, and I've done retreats in different places. Tulum. Have you been to Tulum?
Oh
yet?
my God, I love Tulum. Yes, I've been to Tulum.
It's amazing. It's so magical.
Tulum swept me off my feet.
Yeah, me
definitely.
too.
I want to go back.
I think it sweeps everybody off.
Oh,
their
and
feet.
speaking of spiritual amazing places we have in common, both of us got married in Ibiza.
Did you? Boom! Are you kidding me? Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
So I looked
That's
at...
a special
You were at
island.
Amante, right?
Amante, yeah.
Amante?
Yeah.
I never say it
Were
right,
you
I'm so
nearby?
sorry. I got married at La Escalera, which is like another beach restaurant on the beach, and yeah, because I remember when I was thinking about my wedding, I'd seen pictures of yours, and I was like, where did she get married? That looks so magical. 'Cause that island is like heart home.
Well, it's supposed to be like the island of love or something.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? Feminine. Yeah.
So yeah.
When was that?
It was 2015, October 2015. What year was yours?
2010.
2010.
Just, my husband was specific about that because then he only ever had to just add whatever years. You know what I'm saying? He would remember 2010.
Yeah. We were nearly going to book that venue that you got married in, and then we found Escalera, and then it just so happens that the people that owned Escalera were my soul family, and Andrea's one of my best friends, and she's helping to run our spiritual retreats.
Is her name Andrea?
Andrea.
My bridesmaid was Andrea.
Oh, you got Don't you love it when the universe brings like soul family together?
She's definitely soul family too. I didn't choose her, she just arrived in my life.
These angels, they just fly into your life. It's incredible. Amazing.
Do you ever look for signs of angels?
Oh my god, like it started for me many years ago, and
You're gonna say butterflies.
Butterflies too. Yeah.
I know.
But it's like when you ask for help, so we have to, I think we have to, what tends to happen is we know the practical side of things, which, you know, these sorts of tools, the books and everything are amazing. And then you follow the practical advice, but then when you open up and trust your higher self in the universe, and it's meant to be, it just kind of drops in. I remember being like on my ass at the bottom of a very dark pit of despair after I moved to London, and kind of going, oh my god, I don't know what else I can do to sort my stuff out. And my mum actually said it to me, have you asked the angels for help? And I just thought she was a bit crazy, excuse me. I was like, what? And but I was at rock bottom, so I just went, right, if you're there,
right,
I need a sign. And it was the beginning of this huge awakening. All my gifts started flooding back in, everything opened up, and I started seeing the word angel everywhere, and it was undeniable. Because I think as humans we need evidence as well, that there's more to it than that. So you can ask for evidence that there's, you know.
Do you want evidence? Just because she hasn't read the book yet, but I'm just gonna look at the back of the book here, and it just says here. Hang on a minute, I just gotta read this quote. I know what it is, but I just don't want to find it in the book. Where is it? Basically, it says, P.S. Imagine if everything you're searching for outside of yourself is already within you.
And that's usually the way it is, isn't it?
And that's why I love meditation and guiding people within, because we have the answers. We search everywhere. We think other things are going to complete us, and yet in here we already whole and complete.
And we think that we're passive in it too, but it's like the soul knows what the soul wants, but we're the ones that need to catch up with that. And it's almost the minute you go, oh, that's what I'm meant to be doing. It's like the penny drops and the light bulb goes on and everything just lines up, and then suddenly it's like doors open for you.
Definitely. And there is a sense of trusting the universe. Like, I'm really huge on vision boards and really visualizing your dreams and stuff. Like it's all in there. Everything I've ever done, I'm sure started here, then it went into a notebook, then it went onto a vision board. However, something has just come through for me at a time where I thought that was long gone, because there was a vision that I put on my vision board in 2009, and it's 2018 now.
Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying? So when the universe has a plan, it's not your schedule.
It's divine timing, right? Divine timing. So what else have you got planned that I haven't psychically tuned in?
No, that's pretty much it. That's going to keep me busy anyway if I've got to write a new book. That's a new idea brewing for a new book.
I think there needs to be a world tour. I think, like, you know, New Zealand. What about Australia, mate?
Yeah, I want to go back to Australia too.
Yeah.
How often do you go home?
About every 2 years. I'm going in November.
It's
to
so
see my
special.
brother's wedding's out there. So
it's a special place.
It's a good place. I know.
I wish it was closer.
That's the thing. I think that's what stops me wanting to move home. I feel like my soul wants to be here in LA or in California somewhere at the moment.
It's similar though.
It is.
I think there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, and there's eucalyptus and there's the Pacific and the sun. I was like, last time Lorraine and I were here, we were walking through Venice, because this feels like very much my spiritual home. We're walking through Venice and we just both went, yes, universe, yes. So now I just need to convince my husband, Tony, that he has to move here, and we'll see what happens.
Is he into it, do you think?
I don't know. I don't think he would want to live in LA, but maybe San Francisco or maybe somewhere. I quite fell in love with Pasadena this time.
I love San Diego too.
I haven't been there yet. I must go.
No, it's really quite nice. I could live down there. I never thought, before I moved here, I'd never consider it, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, and Encinitas as well.
There's so many. Have you been to Ojai and
Not
Solvang?
yet.
Oh,
See,
you gotta go. You can't leave soon.
I
You got
know.
Ojai. You're gonna love the vibe up there. The energy's beautiful.
We went to Orange County yesterday,
That's nice
to Tustin, and we did a little spiritual tour of all the little crystal shops around there, and it was lovely. So yeah, I think
I do that too. Crystal healing meditations. If you're in LA, come and join me in one of the studios on Plug, the Den, Soham.
Yeah, so tell us about your events. How can people find you?
Well, on Instagram, Camilla Dallerup, or online, zenme.tv. But if you're in LA or you are visiting, come and join me and be my guest at one of my classes. Unplug meditation, the Den meditation or Soham. And I do crystal healing meditations, deep calm meditation, guided imagery, sometimes special hypnosis workshops, and of course one-to-ones. But yeah, come and join me.
Well, I'm definitely coming back. I don't want to
I've invited you.
yet.
You're
I
welcome
know.
anytime.
Thank you, honey. Well, next time we're definitely going to be back in February because every year now is Conscious Life Expo. But we're talking about coming back in June, so
I think so.
I will be on the phone, darling, when you're coming back. But is there anything else you'd like to say to our viewers, or any other nuggets of wisdom from Camilla that you'd like to impart?
Don't wait until you think you're ready. I don't think we're ever really ready. We're just gonna have to start. And I remember even when I started writing my book, my first one, I had no idea what I was doing. I just did what my husband told me, which is, he went, just start writing, honey. Just start. And that's the best, trick. Whatever it is that you're moving towards, start. Take small steps every day and you'll get that. And know that, you know what? There's so much more within you, so much more confidence and self-belief than you're even seeing properly. And as you take those steps, the road will unfold for you.
Beautiful. And this woman, she knows what she's talking about, because I feel like she's like tapped into my brain saying what I would say.
I know.
It's bonkers. It's bonkers, isn't it? Oh, Camilla, thank you so much.
I feel like there's a soul sister.
I know. It's like, hello. Why did we? It's always like the right timing as well. And it's funny because I look in your eyes and I feel like I know you. It's
I know.
mental.
We met before.
Definitely.
I mean,
love
maybe
it.
not in this life, but we met
This
before.
whole trip's been like that. It's been mad. So yeah, I'm going to be reporting from LA more often, just so you know.
I'll
Because
feel comfortable about having you here.
I'll be back.
Good.
But what I will do for everyone watching is I'm going to share all links to Camilla's website and Instagram and everything below. And is there anything on YouTube that you would particularly like me to share? You put out any videos?
I need to. There's another nudge, but there's a few meditations. Insight Timer, there's some free meditations there too. There's some on my website. There's links in the book to more. But I've done a lot for Unplug meditation and their app, so I haven't had time to do my own yet. But
well, there's all the
I've
time
written
in
2
the world.
books, so there was just no more time.
You've done pretty well, I think. God, I haven't even got one down yet. Well, actually, no, I have. I got poetry down.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second one's on its way.
It's fine.
Amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
honey.
Thank you very much,
We're going to
everybody.
turn off so that we can go and chat now.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for watching.